something about looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's like, you feel weird as shit. But like, when you and I have a conversation, it's, you got engagement or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's almost when you look in the mirror, it's like when you start having that conversation, like it does some weird trick on your brain to make you start wanting to answer the questions you're asking. Welcome to another episode of Kosmo Unfiltered, starring my boy Wes. What's up, Wes?
He's Kosmo, I'm Unfiltered. Kosmo
good.
Unfiltered.
That's good. Kosmo and Unfiltered.
That's it.
Yeah. This week is going to be a great episode. We're going to talk about gratitude, and we're specifically going to talk about the things that we are grateful for. Gratitude is something a lot of people don't practice, myself included. I'm horrible at it. I suck at it, but yet I've learned to do it, and I don't do it near enough, but when I do it, it does make me feel better. So if this is your first time here, thank you for being here. Make sure to mash that subscribe button. I don't even know all this. It goes everywhere. Just
push
subscribe wherever the button is or the thing is. If you just subscribe, share this with a friend. We don't charge for any of this. We do it all out of the goodness and the kindness of our heart. Wes has invested about $750,000 in studio equipment here.
I'm all in right here.
You are all in.
This is it.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So share this with a friend so Wes can, he's not going to get his money back, but.
Well, keep a roof over my head.
Keep a roof over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep a roof over his head. So without further ado, gratitude.
Gratitude.
What are you grateful for? I'm going to start this. I'll tell a story. I had a guy tell me one time, he said, because we were just talking through some things, and he's kind of a mentor to me. And he's like, what are you grateful for? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for being alive. And then he's like, no. What do you specifically say out loud that you are grateful for? To someone or yourself? I said, well, I don't do that. And he goes, well, then you're not grateful for anything. You just act like you're grateful for something. I was like, that's probably a pretty good point. I am grateful, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm grateful, but what is gratefulness? So I started doing this, and it feels weird shit. But I would stand in the mirror in the morning and talk to myself and tell myself, hey man, I'm grateful for this, or thank you for this, or whatever. And that's when it really changed for me.
I was thinking about a scene from a movie when you said you were looking at yourself in the mirror.
You're talking about.
I know you know the one I'm talking about. Oh, it's an inside joke.
Going
for another time.
Yeah.
Oh, are you done? Sorry, I cut in.
No. What are you grateful for?
I think I'm grateful for. I mean, like you said, like you can go topically, like what you're grateful for,
right.
Like. But I think the thing I have to remember. It's usually when work is crazy and you're like between two things and you're stressed, you got a lot on your mind to manage. And it's less of like, let me go through the list of 5 things I'm grateful for today, and more like just gratitude on the whole. Yeah. It's like, man, like this is working. Like this isn't a failed experiment yet, in any way, like all aspects of life. Like I'm here, I'm in the fight, I'm healthy. Like we're not destitute, we're not broke. Like everybody's healthy. Like we're beating the odds, like of, and maybe that's too meta about it, but like I have to kind of like that gratitude's almost like get you kind of focused on the right thing. Even when you're tired, it's like, man, if I wasn't doing this right now, I'm gonna wish I was. Yeah, like I'm just gonna put my head down and go for it.
Yeah, it's like when you come out of the game and sit on the sidelines and take a breath. You're
just ready to get back after it.
I'm ready to get back after it, but it's also that's when I try to park myself, because I think anybody that knows me, me, like I'll run. I'll go for 12, 14, 16 hours a day, and that's one of the things that I had to look back and go, I'm not grateful for that. I'm wired for speed, and I neglected a lot of things, family, mainly family.
I think at the time though, like because I'm in that now. My son is 4. He wants you to play with him all the time, and like even if you did, it still wouldn't be enough. And we take breaks and we play, and he gets distracted and goes and does something else. But it's like this other. It happens at this time in life where I feel like this is the time where you bust ass to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
hey man, yeah, no one cares about you.
yeah, like you're young, like you're.
And it's that for me, like I hear people say, there is no such thing as work-home life balance, and I think, well, maybe for you,
Sure.
because that's how you're wired.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's the life you chose. That's how you're wired. I'm not wired that way. I do, like my family. I do like my friends. So, I try to balance things.
Yeah.
If it gets out of balance,
it's
hard
almost
to pull
like
back.
Boundaries too, because it's like I've heard the work that I do. You can say yes to everything and be busy as much as you want. Like there's always something to do, and people have said this to me, like, "Oh, you seem very family oriented," and I don't take that as like a mismanaging my priorities. I don't take that as like I'm not competitive. I take that as like I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for like playing dinosaurs for a couple hours. You know what I mean? So like that's.
Do you say it? Do you say it out loud though?
Do I say it out loud? I do at times. Like again, like you talk about the moments
Dude,
where it's like
I'm telling you, it's something about looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's like you feel weird as shit, but like when you and I have a conversation, it's you got engagement or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's almost when you look in the mirror, it's like when you start having that conversation, like it does some weird trick on your brain to make you start wanting to answer the questions you're asking. What are you thankful for? Well, man, I'll be honest with you, Cosmo. I'm thankful for this.
Sure.
Really? It doesn't appear that way. You can have that conversation with yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. There's like what you know intrinsically and then like what you're willing to say out loud.
Yeah.
That's good.
And they said everybody has a 2 to 5% lie in them. Everybody.
2 to 5% in everything they say or just
No, in their life.
Oh.
Like there's things that you've never told your wife. I'm putting you on the spot for Amy right now.
About summer camp in 2009. Church camp 2009.
The time a grown man maybe touched his wiener.
Oh, dude, that was...
No, but everybody has that. You think about it, like I know it's the thoughts. It's the thoughts in your head that you are lucky enough to capture.
Yeah,
most people are. I'm not the greatest at it.
Yeah, because then there's stuff that you tell your guys, like your boys, like because you're just
guys
confused.
Talk to guys different than the way you're not going to. If Amy and Jamie, if they heard what you and I talked about, they wouldn't get it.
I mean, they know what we're talking about.
No, they know. Jamie asked me this. She goes, "Why do you guys talk like that?" And I'm like, "Because we're men. That's what men do."
This would be awkward and silent if we didn't.
I'm not woke. I'm sorry.
I'm not part of the woke mob.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that.
Woke Cosmo mob.
So
that's gonna be our next shirt. I'm not woke.
I'm not woke.
It's probably taken.
I don't know. Somebody asked me the other day. Said, "What was I at? Florida." I couldn't tell if they were joking or not. They said, "What are your pronouns?" And I was like, "Bad mother."
Yeah. I was at a shoot in San Francisco, and we always pick on San Francisco, but that's just where I happened to be. And it was this tech office, and I needed to put this shot together to have like a few people crossing the frame, so it looked like there's a lot going on in this office. And I had a female and a male. Yeah. And I needed like another set of like male and female, just so there was some representation, so it wasn't just a bunch of bros walking through the shot. And there was this woman sitting at her desk, like kind of down the line. I'm talking to the guy I'm like there working with, and he'd already asked me what my pronouns were. So I just felt like that was like I needed to be, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. Like I'm not trying to make you mad on purpose, but like the effort was there, but I'm pointing at this chick like, can we use her? Can she help us? Like I just couldn't, I was like, I don't know. And thankfully I was right.
You can't, that's like, I don't want to, start talking about shit I'm ungrateful for on an episode we're talking about gratitude, but that's like a combination. I have to remember your combination.
Right.
Now I can't even remember your name.
Yeah.
Hey, you is, hey,
sure.
Well,
I was talking to a buddy in the airport. We ran into each other, and he was producing this set with a bunch of people, and he was trying to address a group of people as like because that's what they were doing in this individual on set. had different pronouns that like
Them.
they would respond every time he was addressing the group, and he was like, listen, I'm not trying to be crass or like upset you, but like I'm talking to a group of humans right now.
Yeah.
Like not you. But it just gets so like
Entitled. Yeah.
well, it's you've like looked, and it's just hard enough to unprogram your brain the way
I'm
you
not gonna do it. I don't give a fuck about them. You know, it's not that I don't give a about them. I don't give a about like trying to learn. You know, I for 50 years I've been on this planet, and I've talked to people. Wes, you know,
yeah.
Here's your first name. Here's your last name. That's how I address you.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
If you got a problem, I'm not going to call you they, them. Or, I can't remember all. I was a suck. I dropped.
There's a lot. Yeah.
I didn't even graduate high school, so there. I have an excuse. I don't know all the grammar shit. You see my spelling. It sucks. It's horrible.
Yeah, I was the official proofreader of your emails for a while.
You are, to me, is still Y-O-U-R.
Yeah.
If you can't figure that out based on the conversation we're having, then you're a idiot.
Yeah, you'll hit us with the K response still.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
K.
So if you should try that. Why don't you try that?
Saying
try
it out
that
loud?
and just text me. Text me. And for those of you at home, try it. I don't care if you do it by yourself.
That's your assignment.
Yeah, I would recommend doing it by yourself, because the first time I did it, my wife was still in there sleeping, and then she walked in and she goes, "Who are you talking to?"
She's like, "What in the William Wallace is going on in here?"
Yeah. She's looking for a soccer ball. Who are you talking to?
Who are you speaking with?
And I told her, I said, well, I'm just trying to be grateful for shit, because anybody that knows me knows I have a disapproval mentality. Wes is very approval. You try to keep the peace, and I'm like dumping tables.
It's too peaceful.
That's why we work together. That's why we work good together.
Yeah.
Because when shit needs to hit the fan, and you know it, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And when you know somebody needs to calm the room, I shut up and I let Wes take over, because I know I'm not that guy.
I always appreciate those moments.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah. When we're at the restaurant ordering.
When I'm yelling at the waitress.
So that is your assignment. Go stand in front of the mirror and have a conversation with yourself, to yourself, answer yourself, and ask yourself, what are you grateful for?
And figure out what your pronouns are, and make sure everybody knows.
Yeah, and Wes, once you figure out what your pronouns
are. It's very important. Send us all. We want to know.
My pronouns are bad motherfucker. I'm not going to say the rest. I'll be way too offensive.
I can't say the rest.
I'll be way too
I love that bad motherfucker is the most.
I asked my wife to start calling me daddy, though. She was hard no.
Hard no?
Hard no.
She'll just wait a little while and propose it again and see.
Hard no. So I said, this is funny. I said, if you call me daddy, I'll call you mommy. And she's like I didn't know that no could get any harder. She's like, absolutely not. You ever say anything like that. So for the next week, I walked around the house calling her mommy.
Oh. She's a dog mom.
These are some damn fine taters, mommy.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that
shit.
Poor woman.
Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. Share this with a friend. We would love the support. Like I said, we do this for free with Wes's
my capital investment.
Wes's $250,000 deposit. And I'll catch you in the next video or podcast. Peace.